I'm selling on eBay. To me, the fun is finding it out of eBay. Same with you, Zach. Isn't it way more fun finding the stuff in the wild? You could always just go on eBay and be like, okay, I want an Atari 400. But finding it out in the wild, you get to walk, it's there in your hand. To a certain degree, you get to look at it and examine it before you get it shipped to you. There's all sorts of benefits to it.
Now the 400, I'll be honest with you, just to tie into this, I did not find that in the wild, but I had a great story with it, though. And I'll be honest with you, if you've ever shopped online or on Facebook or whatever, that's not like eBay where it's like certified or whatever, it can be sketch. I'll be honest with you, I have been scammed out of a Nintendo Switch several years ago. I lost $200 on a purchase because somebody scammed me, and I am banned from Cash App because of that. Not because of the fact that I was the scammer, Cash App. They scammed me via Cash App. I tried to report them via Cash App. Cash App took that as, oh, you're trying to rip us off. You're getting banned because you're the scammer. I got scammed by this guy, and Cash App basically came in and said, we're protecting the scammer. I'm kneecapping you right now. So I can never use Cash App again. That being said, though, in the wild, like, you can't always be trustworthy of Facebook Marketplace because there's people like that. And that's the one thing. And I got back into looking and trusting a bit with getting this Atari because the guy was out in California. And I was like, man, it was a really good deal. Like, for $100, and just keep in mind, this thing is a complete in box. I have the original box in my closet, too, with some literature as well. Got that. I got, like, a bunch of, like, most of my 400 games I got with that as well. So I was like, for $100, that's a steal if you know the value. Yeah. And so I'm like, look, can you ship it? And, like, basically, it was, like, every step of the way, like, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? And, you know, not every seller's like that. Some are just like, look, if you say shipping, get the hell out of my face. I don't want to talk to you. This guy was like super, like, and this is the thing, like the best of the best seller type of guy. Super every step of the way. You had questions and he would answer if he could and all that. It was awesome. And and it was apparently his childhood, like, computer. So, like, I restored it and got to show him, like, the cleaned up photo and all that of it. You know, it's pretty special. Not gonna lie, like that's the cool side of there's a story to each one of these pieces that I have in my collection as well. And I'm gonna try and pull it up on the screen because this thing to me is like my crown jewel now. It is this. Hang on, I gotta unplug it. But you know it because I brought it up on Twitter because you got jealous of the 400. My XEGS is now like my crown jewel, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell is this thing?" This thing is awesome. Take the Atari 400, add about 8 years of computer upgrades to it, and make it one of the weirdest gaming consoles you'll have ever seen. This is a cartridge slot. It's sideways on the base. These are buttons for the computer, by the way. This looks like kid stuff, but like, that's the start button. That's the select button, options, and a reset. Your power button's right here. It's this green one. It's 80s everything. It's angular.
Atari had the greatest designers for their consoles.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, this has a story itself too. We have a retro gaming chain out here called Fallout Games, and no joke, I had just kind of gotten back into, like, with the Atari, like, man, I really want XEGS, but like, if you go on eBay, and I want you to look these things up on eBay, just this like module I own alone, people are just selling these things like $200. Like, I just want to buy like this, and the whole set. You have to be like, oh yeah, you have to get the computer, you have to get you have to get this, you have to get the keyboard, you have to get the light gun, just to have the complete, along with like cartridges and all that stuff. And that goes for like $350 to $400. In box is $500. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find this thing in the wild where I'm going to like find a reasonable deal. It's going to be a later in my life collection piece. And sure enough, I go in there because I love going to retro stores just to see what's in there. And I look in that cabinet, I go, holy shit. I did not think I'd ever find this thing in the wild. Like, pristine condition too, with everything except like one manual I have to get and the box, which I don't know how the hell I'm ever going to get a box for it. But that's why I love retro, because like there's the retro stores that know what they're doing. Like in Arizona, I'm gonna be honest with you, since I moved out here, the retro scene on the West Coast is legit way better than the Midwest. It's so
Arizona,
much
especially
better.
Arizona.
There's
just has
so much more variety of stuff. More people had things out here that they've held away, and I think more companies focused on California and all that, so it's out here. But like, there's a lot of special things you can find. I'll tell you right now. Last thing I'll say on the retro store stuff, the same store, and I'm hoping it's still there because I want it. There's a complete in box Commodore 64 sitting on a shelf right now for $150. Again, I'm doing a retro gaming day at a Game Expo coming up in 2 weeks. I can't spend right now because I have my eyes set on possibly wanting a Sega Saturn. But that's awesome. Like, again, out in Indiana, that doesn't come up often. I have found some crazy stuff out here on the West Coast. And like this XEGS is a holy grail item for me. Like the fact I found it, yeah. It's special. You get stories with this stuff. It's physically here. You know, I love this stuff. That's why I love retro gaming like that. You know, it's no other. And you meet some cool people too on online communities. Absolutely. So
we have a retro game store out here at the mall. Funny enough, like at the full mall.
Oh, really?
Some guys
next time I'm out
shop.
by your way, we definitely need to do a spin around because I love going. That's another thing I've started doing too. And I used to do this, and I'm going to get back to doing this. Is when I go and travel places, at least like be like, okay, I have like a little bit of time. What's the top stores I can go to? Yeah. Especially out here, Seattle and Portland are like huge with like retro communities. I'm going to Seattle this year for sure. I'm gonna find some fun things out there. But next time you and I hang out, we got to hit up whatever's out there by your way. So.
Well, there's one at the mall, and in their window display they have a Jaguar that looks it's not in box, although maybe they have it, I don't know, but it looks like in perfect shape. I've never asked how much it was because I just know one, it's at the mall. It's gonna be like $400 or $500. Yeah. I just know. One day I'll ask. Second thing though. And this is for the next time you come out here. It's up in Dallas. Everything cool's up in Dallas. I don't understand why. Houston's the larger city. Dallas gets all the cool stuff. But nonetheless, they just opened the largest arcade in Texas, in Dallas. Push, start, play. And it looks amazing. It has, it has your modern fare where it has, the basketball hoops and the dumb stuff like that. But they have, and this is my favorite thing, just rows and rows of pinball. But they have classic arcade, they got rare games, they got fighting games, all of the things that you would want. But to me, the pinball, because that's like one of those things that, they have arcades. They got, the Chuck E. Cheese's of the world and things like that. And there's even, knockoffs. Pinball's that one that even when there is an arcade, you might get one or two.
Pinball's its own subsect of like, I think just it's like video game interest before video games were like big. Like if you look up like the history of video games and like arcades, like pinball used to be it. That used to be the thing until you started seeing like the 70s, like actual game cabinets start coming up and like taking over that interest. Like there's still a big pinball community and honestly some pretty crazy boards, even modern ones now. Like you go to some barcades, which again, saying that today is weird to say that barcades are like a normal thing. But like, there's a big like entertainment scene. Like people are making new pinball machines and all that, and some pretty cool ones out too.
Well, they have those digital ones out now that, like as far as space because they fold up. I think that's the big problem. Like because people collect arcade games, and you kind of can have a couple because they long rather than wide.
A lot of surface area you got to take in your room to even do those, When
I was a kid, my dad bought a pinball machine, and he bought just one of the more ridiculous ones. It was Paul Bunyan. And so I don't know if you know about Paul Bunyan, but Paul Bunyan's supposed to be this big, tall, giant of a person. And so that was kind of the thing of the game. It was extra wide, extra long, and it had 3 rows of the, what are they, bumpers? The little paddles that go up. He still has it. We also had, my dad collected all sorts of weird stuff. We had the Superman arcade game, but he collected we're talking about prior to like arcade video game cabinets. He had like the shooting gallery games, like from like 60s, 70s, old whack-a-mole games, just all sorts. Anything you can collect that takes up too much space. My dad probably has some of it. So yeah, pinball, that was the thing. Like, growing up with a pinball machine, Zach, was like, that's game changer stuff right there. And so now I'm old and I don't have a pinball machine, and there's no pinball machines around me. And I'm sure my parents would love me for me to take that pinball machine out of their house. I don't have any room for that damn thing in my house. I just don't.
That's the deal. Where you put it, you know.
Yeah.
In a real world, in a dream scenario, which I'll never get that here. I'd have to move back out Midwest or whatever. And you'll know this. I'd have a basement and make that my whole setup. Which honestly, any of the collectors that I follow or like watch online with like videos and like tips and like tricks or things I want to like collect for, that's all they have is like, yeah, my main house is up. My house is upstairs, but my whole basement, this is me. This is my thing. This is all my stuff. I'm like, God, I want that. That's a future me thing to own, is a basement for my collectibles to be just all displayed and set up, you know?